In this video, I'm going to show you how to start an LLC for freelancers step by step. Hey guys, welcome back to Biz Builders, your go-to source for business formation tips, entrepreneurship advice, and practical guides that actually help you get your business started. Now, if you're a freelancer, you've probably wondered at some point whether you should turn your freelance work into an official business. Maybe you're doing graphic design, copywriting, web development, video editing, consulting, social media management, or any kind of freelance service online. And at first, it probably started pretty casually. Maybe you picked up a few clients here and there and just got paid directly. But once freelancing becomes consistent income, a lot of freelancers start asking the same question. Should I form an LLC? And the answer in many cases is yes. Forming an LLC can help protect your personal assets, make your freelance business look far more professional to clients, and make it easier to separate your personal and business finances. The good news is you can start an LLC completely online, and the process is actually much simpler than most people expect. But there are still several steps involved. You'll need to choose a business name, appoint a registered agent, file formation documents with your state, get an EIN, and stay compliant with your state's ongoing requirements. So in this step-by-step guide, I'm going to walk you through exactly how freelancers can start an LLC. And I'll also explain why many freelancers choose to use a service like Northwest Registered Agent to help set everything up correctly. And if you want to check them out, I do have a discount link for Northwest Registered Agent in the description and pinned comment below the video. But before we jump into the actual setup process, it's important to understand why freelancers choose an LLC in the first place. So first things first, why would a freelancer even want an LLC in the first place? Well, the biggest reason is liability protection. If you're freelancing without an LLC, you're typically operating as a sole proprietor by default. And legally speaking, that means you and your business are the same entity. So if something goes wrong, like a contract dispute with a client or a legal issue related to your work, your personal assets could potentially be at risk. But when you form an LLC, your business becomes its own legal entity. So generally speaking, your personal assets like your savings, your car, or your home are protected from business liabilities. Another major benefit is professionalism. When you invoice clients under official LLC name instead of just your personal name, it can make your freelance business look much more legitimate and established. And finally, having an LLC also makes it easier to open a business bank account and keep your freelance income separate from your personal finances. So now that you know why freelancers choose an LLC, let's walk through the exact steps to set one up. Alright, so the very first step in starting your freelancer LLC is choosing your business name. Now, there are a couple rules your name needs to follow. First, the name must be unique within your state. That means it cannot already be registered by another business. Second, your name must include an LLC designator like LLC or limited liability company. For example, if your freelance brand is Creative Pixel Studio, your registered name might be Creative Pixel Studio LLC. Now, something that surprises many freelancers is that even if a name looks available, it can still be rejected if it's considered too similar to another registered business. So it's always a good idea to check your state Secretary of State business database before filing anything. And it's smart to have a couple backup name ideas ready just in case your first choice isn't available. Once you've secured your name for your business, the next step is setting up something every LLC is required to have. The next step is appointing a registered agent. Every LLC in the United States is required to have one. A registered agent is responsible for receiving official legal documents on behalf of your business. This includes government notices, legal correspondence, and tax documents. Now, technically, you can act as your own registered agent if you live in the state where your LLC is formed, but there are a couple of downsides to doing that. First, your home address becomes part of the public business record. And second, registered agents must be available during normal business hours to receive legal documents. That's why many freelancers choose to use a professional service like Northwest Registered Agent because they provide a professional business address and handle official legal mail for you. If you want to use them, I do have a discount link for Northwest Registered Agent in the description and pinned comment below the video. This can also help keep your personal home address private. Once you've chosen your registered agent, the next step is the one that actually creates your LLC. Alright, so this is the step where your LLC officially gets created. To form your LLC, you'll need to file something called the Articles of Organization with your state's Secretary of State. This document includes important information about your business, like your LLC name, registered agent information, business address, and management structure. Most states allow you to file this form online. However, the form can still be a little confusing if you've never seen it before. For example, many states will ask whether your LLC will be member managed or manager managed, and that decision affects how your business is legally structured. Each state also charges a filing fee, which can range anywhere from around $50 to several $100s depending on the state. Once your articles of organization are approved, your LLC officially exists. After your LLC is approved, the next step is getting an EIN. EIN stands for Employer Identification Number, and you can think of it as a social security number for your business. You'll need an EIN to open a business bank account, file certain taxes, and hire employees if your freelance business grows. You can apply for one directly through the IRS website, and the application itself is free. However, the form does ask several questions about your business structure and tax classification, which can sometimes be confusing for first-time business owners. So it's important to answer those questions carefully. Once you have your EIN, there's one more document that helps protect your LLC legally. Next up is creating something called an operating agreement. Now, even though not every state requires one, most business experts strongly recommend having this document. An operating agreement outlines how your LLC operates internally. It typically includes things like ownership structure, decision-making authority, and how profits are handled. Even if you're running a single-member freelancer LLC, this document helps reinforce the legal separation between you and your business. And that separation is important for maintaining liability protection. Now, once your LLC is set up and running, there's one final thing freelancers need to stay aware of. Forming your LLC is just the beginning. Most states require ongoing filings like annual reports or compliance updates to keep your LLC in good standing. Missing those deadlines can lead to late fees, penalties, or even administrative dissolution of your business. Because of that, many freelancers choose to work with a professional registered agent service that helps handle official legal mail and keeps important documents organized. One popular option for this is Northwest Registered Agent, which helps make sure you don't miss important state notices or compliance reminders. If you want to check them out, I do have a discount link for Northwest Registered Agent in the description and pinned comment below the video. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, starting an LLC as a freelancer definitely seems possible, but there are quite a few steps involved. And honestly, that's exactly why many freelancers choose to use Northwest Registered Agent instead of filing everything themselves. When you start an LLC on your own, you're responsible for navigating government websites, understanding legal terminology, filling out formation documents correctly, appointing a registered agent, and making sure everything complies with your state's requirements. None of that is impossible, but it can definitely feel overwhelming if it's your first time forming a business. This is where a Northwest Registered Agent makes the process much easier. They specialize in LLC formation and registered agent services, and their platform walks you through the entire setup process step by step. They'll prepare and file your LLC formation documents with the state, provide a professional registered agent address so your personal home address doesn't have to be listed publicly, and help ensure your paperwork is submitted correctly the first time. They also send reminders for important filings and deadlines so your LLC stays in good standing. So while you can absolutely start your freelancer LLC yourself, many freelancers prefer using Northwest Registered Agent simply because it saves time, protects their privacy, and makes sure everything is done correctly from the start. And if you want to check them out, I do have a discount link for Northwest Registered Agent in the description and pinned comment below the video, so you can take a look there. So now you know exactly how to start an LLC for freelancers step by step. The process involves choosing your business name, appointing a registered agent, filing your articles of organization, getting your EIN from the IRS, creating an operating agreement, and staying compliant with your state's requirements. Once your LLC is formed, you'll have liability protection, a more professional business structure, and a solid foundation to grow your freelance career. If you found this guide helpful, definitely give the video a thumbs up so more entrepreneurs can find it. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more LLC tutorials, business formation guides, and practical entrepreneurship advice. Also, if you have any questions about starting an LLC as a freelancer, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I read every single comment and I'm always happy to help. And if you'd rather have professionals handle the LLC formation process, you can check out Northwest Registered Agent using the discount link in the description and pinned comment below the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.